Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's promising episode of Youth Spotlight. I'm loving the energy today. I was just watching the comment section. I was like, wow, we have people that are already tagging their friends. Thank you so much for joining us today. The last session was mind blowing. Choma, Nana, and Mr. Going to be having another promising session, very promising session, guys. So welcome again. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Chijoke Henry, for joining. Nena, you are welcome, and thank you so much for tagging your friends. All right, that's very beautiful. Yeah, that's amazing. Go ahead to tag more people. We are going to be starting today's session in 30 seconds. Our guests are ready for us and they are backstage, right? Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that my voice is very, let me know that you can hear me so we can get started. Tell your friends that we've started. Share this live. Make sure that you are hitting the share button, okay? Share, share, share so we know that we are ready to go. If you can hear me, if you are seeing me and you can hear my voice, if it's loud and clear, type in the comment section that you can hear me. Okay, yeah, Nena, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad that you are here once again. And I hope you are doing great today. I hope you are doing amazing today. So please share this live, okay? Share the live. Let them know that we are back again at Youth Spotlight, right? I'm really enjoying this program. I am really, really enjoying this program. It has been amazing. I've been learning a lot from fellow young leaders, and I'm so sure that all of you, all of the persons that have joined so far have been gaining so much impact just as I have been. It's such amazing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to be gaining um, lessons and the perspectives of different young persons. And one thing I've noticed from all of these interviews is that they have one thing in common. They are just driven. They are very driven and they are very motivated. They don't give excuses. They get things done. And that is the kind of culture we want everyone at Jimmy Padre University to have. We want people who get things done, people who don't. I personally, I say that limitations are just illusions, right? And that does not mean that you won't experience any limitations in whatever you do in life. It just means that you are always ready to find solutions. Here at Jamie Padre University, we find solutions. And that is why at Youth Spotlight, we have been bringing young persons who are doing amazing things across various industries. And you are here hearing their stories, right? One of the questions I ask them are their challenges and how they are able to overcome them. This means that they, just like you and I, they face challenges, they have difficulties. But then what makes them exceptional, what makes them outstanding is the ability to overcome all of these challenges, right? So today we are going to be having two amazing young men, two vibrant young men that know what is happening in the industry, right? One is a realtor and one is a leadership coach. He even has a leadership firm. If you want to learn how to start a leadership firm, then you want to pay attention. Share this live video. Who is here? I'm just seeing Nena. Please, who else is here? I think we have a couple persons here. If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. So we know how many we are in the room right now. And so I can welcome you properly. Okay. If you can hear me, please let me know that you can hear me. I'm super excited for this session, by the way. I'm always excited for all of the youth spotlight sessions. I'm always excited for all of them. So we are going to be starting in a couple minutes. I'm waiting to see that 5 people have shared this live, okay? And I'm waiting to see more tags. It's very important. Like we always do here, whatever we do, we learn together. We are learning together on the Youth Spotlight show under Jamie Padre University. So please tag your friends. It's going to be an insightful session. It's going to be very promising. I promise you that. I promise you that. We don't bring mediocre people on Youth Spotlight. We do not bring mediocre people on Youth Spotlight. So please tag your friends, okay? Tag your friends. Tag your friends. For those of us that are already here, let me see how ready you are in the comment section. We are going to be starting now. If you are ready, let me see that you are ready in the comment section. I want our guests, they are looking at the comment section. Like I told you, they are ready. The two of them are ready, right? They are ready for us and they are reading everything that is happening in the comments. So please, let's make them feel welcome. Tell them welcome in the comment section. Yeah, Favor is here. Good afternoon, Favor. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you are doing great today. Thank you so much for joining. So please, if you are ready, Favor says she's ready. Who else is ready for us today? Nena is ready. Nena, I'm loving your energy today. It's super super impressive. Who else is ready for us? Because we are going to be bringing on our guests shortly. We are going. Oh, Blessing is here as well. Thank you so much, Blessing, for joining. It's such a pleasure to have everyone here. Before we start, please hit the share button again. It's very important. Tag at least 10 people. Tag at least 10 people. Nena, thank you so much. You've been tagging people, but please tag more people. We need at least 10 tags on this. We need this comment section to be on fire, right? Invite your friends. Let them know that we are ready and we are about to have another mind blowing session at Youth Spotlight. Okay, if you've not watched our previous episodes, ensure that you watch them today. Take out the time. There is always something very valuable to learn. There is too much. These are what these young persons are teaching are things that they can package as a paid class and sell to you and you still buy. They are giving it to us for free. Okay, so make sure that you go back and watch them. It's very important that you go back and watch them. It's important that you go back and watch them. So today we have Mr. Paul Udah. Excuse me. Let's get. Okay, we are back. We have Mr. Paul Oda. And Mr. Paul is a leadership enthusiast, a consultant, a speaker, and a writer. I hear he's not even in Nigeria, that he's in Rwanda, right? He's the CEO of Paul Oda Leadership Firm. I told you that he has a leadership firm, an organization that is focused on raising a breed of balanced leaders, people who are spiritual, excellent, and principled for societal betterment. He's the host of several summits and has his certification in leadership from the prestigious More Leadership Academy, from God Leadership Center and African Leadership University (ALU), which are Africa's leading leadership institutions. So I'll just stop here briefly for Mr. Paul to have more things to tell us, right? So if you are ready to bring him on board, please, I want to see the fire emoji in the comment section so I can bring him here right now. He's already backstage waiting for us. Put some fire emoji in the comment section and keep tagging your friends, okay? If you're ready to introduce, to have Mr. Paul on your screen, if you have any question for him as well, I'm sure there are many leadership enthusiasts here and he has a leadership firm. He has successfully hosted conferences. And today he's going to be telling us how he was able to achieve all of that and how he's able to achieve more. So, right, we are seeing some fire here. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Lena. So, let's welcome Mr. Paul Oda. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us today. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for finding time in your busy schedule to honor our invite at Youth Spotlight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Success. I truly am honored. It's not out of place to say that I am completely very. This is a dream come true to be hosted by Jimmy Padre University, and I will explain why. I will explain why. Some last year, I saw Dr. Jimmy Padre at Dr. Linus Okori's event, November. And I tried as much as possible to get to see him because I mean I've run my leadership models exactly by his system, how he has organized the JPI conferences. So it was a dream come true that I would see him, speak with him. But these protocols and always protocoling, so it didn't allow. And I just settled in my heart that one day value will draw me close to this man and we'll speak on the terms of value. And it happened that I got the invitation almost about a month ago. And right here, I'm about to be teaching or sharing my story on the Jimmy Padre University webpage. So it's a big thing for me, and I'm very, very grateful to be here. Thank you so much, Success. Thank you so much, leadership of the Jimmy Padre University. I'm truly, truly honored and willing to fire, honestly.
It's such a pleasure to have you here, seriously. And you look so good, by the way. You look
Oh
amazing.
my goodness, thank you. Please, you can say it again. You can say it again.
All right. Okay,
All
so
right.
let's start, right? We are going to
Yeah.
start with you, and then our next guest will be joining us shortly. So I intentionally did not read your bio completely because I want you to get to tell us a couple things yourself, right? So please, what
Mm.
do you currently do now? As of now, what do you currently do? So I know how to streamline the questions I'm going to be asking.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Very, very, very sharp, specific question. I'm currently, in fact, I am a leadership educator. I am very driven, very passionate to share, to teach people on leadership. It's a keen aspect for me because you see, building a generation of balanced, spiritual, principled young persons is a key thing for me, right? So I've spent several times, and I'm still spending time studying, obtaining degrees on the subject matter of leadership. My key interest goes to human capital development. Study shows that one of the most neglected aspects of natural resources is the human aspect. So it's a major thing for me to dive into the subject matter of leadership, especially with teaching and helping others to unravel their potentials, learn how to lead effectively in whatever spaces that they find themselves. And I hope it's not out of place for me to share, but you see, I'm particularly interested in this aspect, currently on this aspect, because many years back, many people are celebrating now that this is what we've done, this is what we've done, and all of that. But without the background story, people will not be able to relate much better with what we do, right?
Yeah.
Few years back, I think 2012, 2013, I was considered as what you would say a young man who has no purpose in his life. Parents had to write to my parents to ask me to stay away from their children.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that bad. It was that bad. Many times, if you were coming to school and you needed to see someone who would be punished in class, my name was the first. There was no purpose. There was no understanding of what to do with life. There was absolutely nothing. I was a perfect description of what you would call a nuisance. My family were trying to manage here and there, but the whole thing changed in 2014, 2015, 2016. I got favored by God. I'm a Christian. So apologies to those who are not Christians but are currently streaming. I'm a Christian. I'm very, very vocal about it. Right. I got to be blessed to find a certain man of God who introduced the factor of mentorship to me. Right. Pastor Ezekiel Atang of blessed memory. He was the one who called me aside one time after service and began to take intentional workings on fixing my life.
Wow.
The models, the teachings that he gave me at that time evolved into who I currently am. I will not be who I am if I didn't have a leader who was strong enough to harness potentials within a young man and take him from where he currently was to where he needs to be. So the subject matter of mentorship has played a key role to me. And having seen what he has done, what he did for me, helping me to find myself, helping me to develop myself, helping me to serve myself that I have discovered, it became the trajectory, the trend, the change in dynamics for me. And that's what I currently do for others. I want to see people evolve. I want to see people transform. I want to see people become better. And that's the passion that drives and fuels me for what I do.
I love the passion. Like it shows in your voice, the passion, the dedication, the willingness,
Thank
everything. It's strong in your voice. And I am so grateful to that pastor because without him, you wouldn't be here with you, looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
and learning all of this from you. So I hope that today you are going to be able to share with us some snippets, some things that the pastor shared with you, because there could be
Yes.
some youth that are currently how you used to be, and they need to hear those words from you today. So we have our second guest here in the room, Mr. Israel Nwafor. He is, I don't know if you've heard of the latest landlord before. If you've heard of the latest landlord, anywhere you see, then know that it is Mr. Israel Nwafor. Mr. Israel Nwafor is an experienced realtor and businessman who helps individuals and organizations in Nigeria and diaspora increase their net worth through real estate, majorly in the southeast states and south states of Nigeria. He is an author of 3 books and an inspirational speaker who has spoken to over 10,000 people across business, academic, and religious institutions on business, sales, success, etc. And he has done this both virtually and physically. So if you are ready to have us bring on the latest landlord. I believe that there are still people here watching us. Let me see your comments. Let me see your fire emoji. He's seated, and I just have to click on my add to stage button and he'll be here. So please, I want to see how ready we are to welcome him. He's reading the comments and he's excited for today's session as well. Let's see you in the comment section. I think we had a couple people join us while Mr. Paul was speaking. So thank you, Daniel B. Brown. Hello to you too. I hope you are doing amazing today. Thank you so much for joining. Please tag your friends, okay? Share this video. Click the share button so this goes to your timeline and people who it could just stumble on their day could watch us as well, okay? So thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you, Esther. Mr. Israel, I'm sure you can see the fire emoji in the comment section for you and they are more than prepared to answer it today. Thank you so
Amazing.
much for
Amazing.
honoring our invitation. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. It's such a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Amazing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear.
Amazing. Amazing. So glad to be here, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Mr. Paul. You are on fire. Thanks a lot, guys.
It's good to be on
Thank
the show with you.
Amazing. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I've been listening. I've been taking notes. Uh, I need to go and add more mentors to my list of mentors, right?
Oh God. Okay then. So Mr. Israel, just like Mr. Paul, right? I intentionally did not read out the full details of your bio. So you could get to tell us what you currently do and we know how to streamline the questions we need to ask you from there.
You said I should say what I do.
What you currently do, like what you are actively doing, so you can streamline the questions to ask you from there.
Okay. Um, I'm a realtor. Presently, I'm a realtor, right? I work with I help people, I help Nigerians, even foreigners acquire valuable, high profitable properties in the southern part of Nigeria, right? Um, there's been a lot of shift to the south in the real estate industry in Nigeria. So we are providing those solutions for safe and well-positioned, secured landed properties for our clients. All right. So that's what I majorly do. I also I also speak and consult on a low key, but the major thing I do presently is to help people that want to get secure and high profitable properties in the southeast and south states. Presently, um, I operate in Anambra, Ebonyi, Port Harcourt, Uyo, which other states? I think these are the four states I'm operating for now. Anasaba, yeah, Delta State, yeah, 5 states right now. So that's on a short note. So if you don't want to be going to court because of land case, send me a DM, right? If you don't want all Amara them to make money from your head.
Okay, all right, that's very amazing, right? But take us back. I want to hear the backstory. Have you always been a realtor? Did you start out being a realtor? Like, what? Let us just hear the story. How did you get to where you are presently?
Amazing. So it's been a long story. Every Nigerian young person that is serious has a long story. All right. So let me start from COVID-19. So at COVID-19, at that point, I was broke, I was dusty, and I was dry, right? Broke, dusty, and dry. I didn't have connections. I didn't have. I came from a very humble beginning. So there were lots of things to do to move out of the bottom, right? There was a lot of mental reprogramming. God bless my other brother that was buying books then and was, encouraging me to read those books. Life was a place of suffering and misery to me before I read my first book, right? Life was just unfair. That was my definition about life until my elder brother, he kept pushing me, he kept encouraging me. I said, "What are you reading this thing for? You that have been reading it, where have you bought car? Have you bought 10 plots of land? What you didn't whine me?" So, but one of those days, um, I was just there lying down in the room, and I said, "Let me pick a book." I picked the book titled "No Excuses" by Brain Tracy. That book started the revolution that people can now see the dividends in life presently. I began to see that this guy called Brent Tracy was we had similar story. He was once broke. He was once working in a laborer site, trying to make ends meet, until he asked himself one question, and that question was, why is it that some people succeed in life and some don't succeed? That was the question that changed his life. And I asked myself that same question. And I said, but Israel, wait, there are people in this country that are succeeding. They are doing big things. They have the best cars. They are living in the best houses. Why am I this way? All right. So that question led me to say, oh, I need to, there are things I don't know. I need to ask questions. I need to do research. I need to
Wow.
meet people. I need to understand the difference. Why are there rich people and why are there poor people? And it made me to begin to become inquisitive. I became inquisitive. I said, okay, since this one book I read is making me to begin to see life in a new way, let me read another one. And I picked a second book from his room. I read it, I picked the third one. And that was how I began to understand that, okay, life is an issue of cause and effect. All right. That's one of the biggest revelation I got from that first book. Life is about cause and effect. And I said, okay, what can I do? I was a graduate, right? I'm a first class graduate of agricultural economics
Start
and
calling me comments. We have a first
extension.
class graduate.
All right. So that's why, but when I sorry, when I came out from school, there was no job, right? There was no the people that said, "Oh, I'll help you, I'll put you here and there," they couldn't provide anything sustainable. So I said, okay, I need to help myself. I need to start making moves. And what was the first move I made? I said, okay, there are people doing something online. That was the first time I knew that people can make money online. Like, somebody made a post, Mr. Hyacinth is his name. That was in 2020, that same COVID-19 period. And he said that he makes up to 1 million naira from running ads on Facebook to his products. I couldn't relate. I couldn't understand that people in different parts of Nigeria were paying somebody in Lagos for a product, somebody they have not seen before. I couldn't understand it. I said, okay, I need to go deep into this. When I went deep, I said, okay, this thing is possible. That was the first time I paid to learn. I paid Miss Edirin Edewo. In That was where I met, that's where I saw Olamara too. Olamara know me today. So I saw this beautiful lady posting a lot of wonderful things. See, I was not like this, oh. I was a blast from the past, right? But the right questions were bringing me closer to the right people. Now that's just for trying to say where I met Olamara. I didn't have the money to pay when I wanted to pay for that class, but I was inquisitive. I wanted to know what's going on here. When I made that payment of 5,000 naira in 2020, I borrowed that money from one of my friends then, and that opened me up to the making money online world. All right. I learned about writing. That class was on writing because we did the 29 days writing challenge. I just joined just for the fun of it. But I realized that the more I was doing it, the more I was writing better, right? The more I was getting better at what I was writing. So the class was on how we can monetize that skill of writing, how we can learn basic writing and how to monetize it. And from there, I wrote my first ebook, all right, how to make money online. That was the first time somebody paid me money. Sorry. That was the first time somebody paid me money online, right? I was surprised. I made over 50,000 naira in 2020 alone from the launch of that book. Yeah, you may say it's small money, but man, I've not seen that kind of money before from an online business. I've not done business online before. That was the first time. And I was making about 50,000 naira. So it was a big win for me. All right. So that was where I started. I was selling the book. So some people now started coming to me and said, I want to learn how to write ebooks. I want to learn how to get title that can sell. I want to learn how to advertise the ebook so that
Mr.
people will
Israel,
buy.
hold on. So we want you to delve into how you started real estate because I'm sure a couple persons are interested in. And the story could, telling the story.
It's long. It's too long.
Yeah. So please tell us how you started real estate.
All right. So that was earlier this year, right? No, that was last year. So I asked myself, I've done a lot of things in the past and I was making some few hundred six figures. But I asked myself, what is my financial goal? What do I want to achieve financially in my life? I said, okay, I want to be a billionaire, right? And the next question was, this thing I'm doing presently, will it help me to become a billionaire? And I realized that it wouldn't, it can't. How many ebooks will I sell? How many consultations for small businesses will I do to become a billionaire? All right. Even if I'm going to become that, it's going to take not less than 30 years. And I don't want to work for all my life. I don't want to use all my life to be working. So I start asking myself, what are other industries I'm interested in, I have passion for. And after all my research, it is a long procedure. Forget I'm saying it is easy like this. It took me weeks to realize that it has to be real estate. And that's how I started.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing. You just gave us a cheat code now. So everybody in this live stream, if what you are currently doing cannot make you a billionaire, if you know that you have to work 30 years and you want to be a billionaire, it's Israel to show you the way of doing it. Okay. So back to you, Mr. Paul. How about you? Just tell us what inspires you. I know you've said this before, like what inspires you to do what you do.
Like I had earlier mentioned, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Israel. I would be in your inbox soon, soonest. So what inspires me actually is, like I said before, is I am at my best of happy moments when I'm either teaching people, partnering people to do what it is that they want to do, helping people transform from one level to the other. I'm at my best. That is my element. When I'm teaching leadership, when someone says, based on the conference that you hosted so time, so year, I have now made so and so decisions, and this is who I am now. It is what fuels my passion. I want to see someone's life reformed. I want to see someone who, you see, my growth process in general has brought me to one conclusion, which is the fact that all men can be transformed
Yeah.
except and only if they are willing to learn. All men can be transformed. And it is my joy and desire and my zeal to always ensure within 2 minutes of anyone meeting me, I shouldn't leave them the way that they met me. One of my mentors said, if you need 10 minutes to change someone's life or conform, make someone to conform to your ideologies or beliefs, you have not mastered it. And so my pursuit has been to master the art and craft of leadership, to ensure that within a few moments of speaking to someone about a project, about anything, you buy into my belief systems that are really streamlined on scripture, and you begin to run and you produce results. People driven, I'm also result oriented. And that's
Wow.
the thing that makes me who I am. Yeah.
We brought like two fire vibrant young men today.
Thank you.
Something huge today. Like today is going to be a really exciting one. It's going to be an amazing one. And I saw you tag your followers in the comment section. Thank you so much. Thank you. On your followers, tag at least 10 people, let them know that we've started. Okay. So, Mr. Paul, please, I'm sure in the midst of all of this, been rosy, right? So, what challenges have you been facing and how are you able to overcome them?
Okay. The first of challenges that I have experienced has been handling transferring ideas to real time. One of my mentors will always say that an idea in itself does not change the world. It's ideas that has been executed, right, that changes the world. So the challenge of I'm a thinker. I love to think a lot. I have I'm burdened with challenges, with issues I want to solve, right? So one of the challenges that I have around those areas is always bringing it out into real time. There are about 7 values that I live my life by. I had to sit down and draft 7 key values that I live my life by. I would explain that later, but one of them tackles this challenge. It helps me. I developed those 7 values when I was thinking about solving this challenge. So this challenge now, I noticed that to solve it, it was easy to collaborate with people. Since I am a thinker, I had to find a way to get people in my circle who are executors, right? And it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. I had to go into trainings for goal setting, execution boosters, and all of those things, and they helped me to settle those things. The second challenge I've had has largely been around managing expectations from people. From the beginning of my starting this thing I now call a career, right? It's been a ceaseless season of you cannot, you should not. And many times, this you cannot, you should not, you are not supposed to, are largely against the thing that my vision pursues. It is, what's his name now? Jesse Penny. Yeah, Jesse Penny, who was asked, "How is your sight? How is your sight?" And he said, "My sight is failing, but my vision is ceaselessly strong." Anybody who knows me knows I'm a person of vision. The moment a vision comes, backed up by God's assistance on it, I like to pursue it. So it's been a ceaseless war and challenge of managing. You're not supposed to do this. You are not. You are supposed to do this. Your age mates are doing this. You should be doing this. You should be. And every time that I've had to ignore those things that I cannot and say to myself that I can. It has always helped me to produce massive results in my personal life. Everybody in this listening to me right now has that season in their life where you cannot host this program. You should not host this program. The timings do not permit this. You are too small. You are this. You see, the absence of vision imprisons an individual. When you pursue your vision, when you pursue a certain call that God has given to you, a certain nudge that you are supposed to make impact on in this space and in your time, the moment you begin to pursue it, others will tell you that you cannot. It is mad. I mean, we began doing leadership I think at quite a very young age, hosting programs at the time where someone said one time, you should be in the classroom and learning to be a doctor. What are you doing on leadership space? Why are you doing events? Years later, exactly 2 years later, I helped him organize a leadership program and helped him work on his leadership project. So imagine that I decided to refuse to listen to the nudgings of my vision. Imagine that I refused to listen to make the daring move that my destiny required. I would not be where I am currently. So that's the second challenge I've had. And the third has been working with people. As much as I'm a lover of people, it doesn't make me an alien from the challenges that people bring. Hence, the need for us to always learn to manage people, learn people management, learn peacekeeping. Understand that if you must get people to buy into any idea that you have, you must bring to them what value is for them. There are many times young people want to start out something, and so they say I'm going to go out. They sell the vision with so much enthusiasm, so much belief in the vision, and that is good. But the person that you are wanting to collaborate with you, the person that you are seeking to get on board with you, needs to hear how that value is value to him. So it is not value if they don't buy it. So that has been the major challenges, and I've learned to undergo courses, training on teamwork. Currently, now, one of the things that pays me a lot is that I help to start teams for people. I manage teams. It's one of my best specialties right now. I teach people on team building. I help them to create and manage their communities, their teams, whether in person or virtually. Since I've been here in Rwanda, I've been managing a lot of teams for people in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, right? So it's a challenge that I had when I was starting, but blessed by God for mentors that are always available to share their thoughts and share resources with you. I had to reform that strength, that weakness into a strength. Currently, now I can communicate with people. I mean, currently in a space where you have more than 40 African countries represented in one space. So how do you stand and you speak to them, and then they accept what you are saying, because you are careful at communicating. You are careful at not putting people's weaknesses and shouting it at their faces. I mean, people management, human resource management, all of those things have played a major role towards overcoming these challenges. So those are the I think I want to share the last one is been funding. Any young person who wants to embark on any massive project, as long as God has put it in your heart to do, it is a project. Number two, executing that project will require resources.
Yeah.
Most of them is financial resources. So one of the things that I learned to tackle these financial challenges were to leverage on relationships with people. There are things that relationships have helped me to obtain that what would I say now, that money didn't get. There are several speakers I've had at our conferences where we've gathered about 1,500 persons and more to see that some speakers I've gone to that money would not have gotten me to them. Resources of people. So it's been one of my core values. I will be sharing with us maybe later if there's time about the values that I've learned based on these circumstances that I've faced and all of that. And I think once you leverage on people, you leverage on people, it helps you to go a long way with executing projects, and money will come along. Yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing. There is just one spectacular thing. I love how you started your story, right? On the role of mentorship. You've talked about it quite a whole lot of times, and I am so glad it's something that has helped you. Getting the right mentor is very important. So, on that
Critical.
note, guys, yeah, I would love to tell everyone that is watching me right now on the youth mentorship program that is being organized by Jamie Padre University. Under this mentorship program, you are getting mentored directly by Dr. Jamie. It started last month. October batch is done, and we are kicking off again this week Saturday. So you want to be there, right? There you are molded. You are not being taught what you already know afresh. You are taught how to execute. He gives you strategy, action plans. Just get everything started. Okay. So please ensure that you join that mentorship program. You want to get under the mentorship of a leader who knows what he's doing, someone that has worked the past, that has the results. Okay, so make sure that you sign up for the youth mentorship program. It is just 10,000 naira. For just 10,000 naira, you'll be able to get all the value, you get the push, you get the motivation, and you get the resources that you need. He talked about leveraging relationships, how the relationship he has, it's able to help him sponsor and organize events, right? So those are the kind of things, the kind of individuals that we have in the mentorship program. They are powerhouses, like they are not even there to play. And so far, they've been networking with one another, helping each other, sharing ideas, and it's definitely a place that every young person needs to be. So if you are ready, if you want to get into the mentored by Dr. Jamie, just type I am ready in the comment section. Type it right now. You can type I am ready in the comment section right now. And our team members will send you the registration form so you can fill and get started. If you want to join the youth mentorship program for just 10,000 naira, type you are ready in the comment section and our team member can come and out of the way. Mr. Israel, how about you? What challenges have you faced and how were you able to overcome them?
Okay, challenges in what area? We
Let's
have
say
many,
in the
many areas in business. Okay,
yes.
okay. Yeah. One of the major challenges in the high ticket industry is trust issues. All right, trust issues. So because a lot of Nigerians have experienced negative customer service or bad customer experiences, they are very critical. And except people that already know you and people that already trust you, right? But strangers tend to lag behind, tend to drag their feet. And but that's why we now incorporate education in our sales process. So we put a lot of effort to educate people on what investment in real estate is all about. All right. So because there was a time we were thinking that everybody that has the money to make an investment in lands should automatically understand what is involved. But we realize that that is not the case. So we realize that a lot of people don't have information. So I take out time to explain our brand, take out time to give educational content. If you check on my timeline, you will see that there are some things I put out from time to time, how to know the right documents before you invest in a property, what to look out for. These are very important information that even some of these bad guys will not want you to see as an investor. So, but we take out that time to put it out there. So I think that's one of the major challenges faced, but we are managing it gradually, and we keep managing it.
Okay, that's very beautiful. Mr. Israel, I need you to give us a very helpful tip, right? A young person like me, and there are so many other young persons that are watching. Let's say we want to buy property. Everybody wants to buy a land, everybody wants to buy a house, but then they find the means. It's not really there, right? So how can you advise us? Tell us how would be able to um, save to acquire the kind of properties that we want, and how long is it going to take? Is there like a faster route to getting money faster and being able to acquire the properties that we want? Just give us like a kind of, maybe let's call it a cheat code on how to, or maybe there is a plan, a payment plan, something. How exactly are we supposed to get it? We don't want to wait 10 or 20 years to be able to acquire property.
I must say you're a very intelligent person, because these kind of questions, these kind of questions, you cannot see it in the internet. You cannot see it in the streets of Facebook. This is very intelligent, and I truly appreciate that. No wonder you are the one hosting this. I'm not surprised. So yeah, one of the major challenges of over 90% of Nigerians is raising capital for capital investments like owning properties. And there are a few people that have been able to maneuver that hurdle. And I'm going to be sharing a simple procedure that any intentional person can apply. And in 6 months' time, in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time, in 1 year time, they should be owning a property. First of all, the person must have a source of income. The person must have a source of income. So if the person don't have a job or doesn't have a business, he has to get one. He has to start one. And the second thing the person must do is to understand how to manage cash flow. That's why I encourage everybody to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also read The Richest Man in Babylon. These are the two books that helped me financially, even before I came into real estate, to be able to attain some things, to achieve the little things I achieved in time past. So one of the things I've noticed is not all about the money people acquire. Like, let me say it this way: it's not about what you don't have, but it's about what you have that you don't know how to use. Let me say that again. It's not about what you don't have, but it's about what you have that you don't know how to use. So I will love people to not to be focusing on increasing the amount they earn, because we have noticed that people focus a lot on increasing the amount they earn per month,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, they still don't have savings. They still don't have something that they can use to make investments. So the problem is not increasing the amount you make. The problem is managing the one you are getting. All right, and that is I'm going to be sharing. There's a six there's a formula I call six money tree formation. Six money tree formation. So is something I came up with because I have struggled with money for some. I was struggling with how to manage money in the past, and because I wanted to get it right, when I was reading these books, attending trainings, I came up with that formula. And the formula is using six bank accounts. All right. You need to have six bank accounts to execute this for you to be able to have savings, for you to be able to have money you can use to buy a property. All right. So one of the accounts will be your normal expenditure account. All right. The maybe that can be 50% of your income. All right. That can be 50% of your income because many Nigerians, they are not, only 2% of Nigerians are earning above average. So those 98%, you use one of the accounts for your everyday expenses, your monthly expenses. So let's say we are using 200,000 as a benchmark. So 50% is 100,000 for your transport, for your feeding, for all that. Then 10% of that money should go to savings, normal savings. Now that savings should be at least 6 months. You shouldn't touch it for 6 months. All right. You shouldn't touch that savings for 6 months minimum. Now, what it will help you to do is it will discipline you. You will stop spending on anything you're not supposed to spend on because you are only spending 50% of your whole income. All right. Now, the second account is for savings. The third account is for projects. Now, people must understand that for you to gain something, you need to lose something. All right. For you to if you want to buy a car, you must part with a particular amount of money. You must pay the car dealer a particular amount of money for you to gain the car. All right. For you to gain something, you need to lose something. Since gaining a land is important to that person, the person will see it as a special project. All right. And then the person will begin to save a minimum of, let's say, 20% of his income. This is the third account. Now, 20% of your income should be going to your project account. It must not be land alone. Any project you want to execute. All right. Since you have known the amount of money that will be needed for that project, there are people that go as far as putting 30% of their income because they want to execute that project. They want to get that land maybe in 6 months' time. So they increase the amount they put in their project account. Remember, because they already have money they are using for daily expenses, so it will not choke them, all right, or tempt them to go and touch that money. All right. Now, how many percent is remaining? 20% of the money is remaining. The person can use 10% for charity, all right, or 5%, depending on how you want to. That's the fourth account. Now, the fifth account is flexing, all right. Flexing account. I don't joke with that account. I have one account that is flexing account. Now, this advice was given by MJ DeMarco, the author of The Millionaire Fast Lane. Now, when I began to practice this, the thing changed my life. So what does it do? You are going to be putting about 5% of your income, right? 5% of your income to that flex account. At the end of the month, you use that money to spoil yourself, maybe to buy a shoe or to buy a bag or to go on a trip or to buy something that will make you happy. The reason is because to undergo this procedure, forget that it's very simple like this, as I'm saying it. It's not simple in practice. I had to struggle for many months before I began to do it. So when your subconscious mind remember that there is a flexing to be done at the end of the month, he will agree with you, right? He will calm down. He will not force you to go and spend the other monies. All right. And the last account is personal development. All right, that's 6 accounts. So that may be 5%. Why I don't want to give a particular percentage is because people are earning varying amounts of money. All right, but if you want to get this very perfectly, you can get I have an ebook. I because of my clients, it's because of my client that produced that ebook, the 6 monetary formation guide. So it has 4 chapters. It's just 21 pages, but it will change your life. All right. So I have that ebook. If you need it, you just come to. It's not free. Oh, we know they do free things here. All right. So it's just 5K, but any of you that come today, you'll be getting it for 3K, right? Let me just do that as a giveaway for attending this thing. So you need to manage you can never attain wealth. You can never buy anything of value that something like land that is costly. It's not costly actually, because if you can save for 3 months, for 6 months, you can buy a land. Now that is the first important thing. Managing your income. You must manage your income. You must become an expert in managing money if you must begin to acquire assets. Land is an asset. Now the second thing I will say on this is um the second thing I'll say on this is there are people that get motivated when they begin a project. I've seen people like that. In fact, I'm that kind of person. So me saving money for a long time may not really motivate me. Like, unlike me, for instance, I want to get a land of 3 million and I make an initial deposit of 500,000. Man, I will be on fire. Like, that is the motivation I need, because my subconscious mind now know that if I work harder, if I become more disciplined, if I push, I'm going to own this land in 6 months' time, in 3 months' time, in 4 months' time. And because I've already made a deposit, the procedure has begun in my subconscious mind. I'm already on it. All right. Every day I go and watch the video of the land and say, this land, you must become my own. All right. So this scenario is not for everybody, but there are people it can favor. So you can acquire property by paying instrumentally. So in our company, we have properties that you can pay as little as 500K. You can begin to pay as little as 500K, and then you pay across 3 to 4 months to pay off the money. We have properties of 2 point something million, we have 4 million, we have 5 million, 20 million, depending on your anointing, right? So thank you, Lord.
Wow, like this is like a full-blown masterclass.
Of course.
Yeah, I would be able to buy land in 3 months. So watch out for me.
That's so. I'll give you a good location, actually.
Oh, Israel.
So watch out for me, right? Thank you so much. You've broken it down actually. Personally, I used to think that to be able to afford that kind of thing, you would have to save and save, like you would have to spend years. But thank you so much for enlightening us. And I'm sure everyone in the comment section caught the fire. They are feeling you right now. Like they are so excited. Excited. I'm sure they got value. With this, the next 1 year, all of us like this, we are buying.
Let me just chip in something there. So, Mr. Olumide Emmanuel is one of the biggest real estate shots in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So he said something. He said he was addressing Christians actually. He said, "You quote the Bible and say the earth is of the Lord and the fullness thereof. Do you own a plot?" That's his triplet, man. so I'm asking on this call. Everybody needs to own a plot, though. At least if they're coming to pay your bride price as a woman, they will be respecting you. No be smart. And as a man, when you are checking that girl and you're telling her, see, I get plot for here, I get plot for here. She don't be there, she don't fit.
Anyway, I don't think that right? We are getting it because it's going to be, it's a worthy investment. It's a
Of
worthwhile
course, of
investment.
course, of course.
Yeah, so so much. Anete, thank you so much for joining. Mr. Israel was telling us how we can acquire property. Just go back and watch the replay. It's a very, very valuable session. I asked would be able to afford a property in the next, I don't want to wait 20 or 30 years before I'll be able to buy my land or before I'll be able to buy my house in Banana Island. So he just broke down how would be able to afford money. You don't necessarily have to increase your you don't necessarily have to earn more. You just have to manage what you already have. And he gave
Mm.
us his cheat, explained how exactly you should be using the account, how exactly you should be saving money in those accounts. Talking to the money magnet, the latest landlord, it's very important that you watch the replay. So then engaging, we are still here. Gloria says wisdom. Like I said, they were catching the rema. They were really, really catching the rema. So it was a very, very we Mr. Israel mentioned on flexing on fun. Definitely, we are going to get back to that. But before we get to how we all have on leadership, right? Leaders, there are certain kind of, how do I put this? Um, okay. Make what mistakes have you made as a leader? And you get the question, right? Leaders are not always um, employers in family. Enlighten us. We want to learn from the mistakes that yeah, what mistakes are those and what can we learn?
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you so much. One of the mistakes that can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so majority of what my entire life, right? I have made mistakes, right? I have made mistakes several times, and it's how I've learned also, right? As much as mistakes, I just want to give some footnotes here, right? Some headings before I start. That as much as mistakes in themselves are inevitable, it's important that we leverage on systems that help us to avoid mistakes at every cost. Do you understand that now? I actually began to teach and train young persons in leadership, and majority of not majority, a balance of what I brought was theory and my experiences. To say this is what I learned, this is what I've gone through, and backed up by my experience, this is what I think can work. And that's the thing that makes us mentors, to be able to teach people on the basis of mistakes and say, when you get to this point, be careful here. This is what happens. This is what happens. So I think to begin, let me get into practical stuff. So to begin, I one of the major challenges I have faced has been to be so project driven more than being people driven. Is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I started. Backstory that my pastor at the time, who was a mentor to me, put me aside for 5 years to work on me, refuse that I receive any external invitation to teach anywhere or to be, in fact, if I were present in a group where young persons were sharing and seeking counsel and I opened my mouth to talk, it called for caning thereafter. Like, I don't mean literal caning, but a rebuke. So I stayed in the backside for 5 years, learning and learning under his feet, practicing, learning before I started. And at the time, I was I want to make impact. I want to touch lives. So it somehow I missed it a certain year in 2020. I began to be so project driven. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And I forgot that projects in themselves are successful because people become better.
Yes.
I was working with people, I was working with team members at the time. I was managing a team of about 6 at the time in 2019. And I was so, we are not giving up our best. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. we would, would draft out systems that would choke people. I mean, we started losing people because I was choking the project down on their neck. And I think one time I sat down and noticed that in a previous few times, people have left. Why? And I discovered that, guy, you have been too project driven to obtain the goal. You have forgotten the need for building people. So what I did, I changed tactics. I quickly changed tactics and began to create times for my people. There were about 6 of them at the time, and I gave my attention. I told them, anytime you want you have an issue, you need to talk to someone, I'm available. If you have any issues, my job is not to criticize you. My job is to help you to stand and become better. I started giving them and touching their hearts. I'm telling you that we didn't publicize in our department for people to come join. We grew to 60,
Wow.
from 6 to 60.
That's amazing.
That's, I'm telling you. Also, we noticed that young people started becoming better. So not only were they attaining the job, they were also developing skills, communication skills, training skills, leadership skills, copywriting skills. We created platforms that would train them to become better. The more they became better, the more we started meeting our targets. And it's a mistake that many young persons do till date. Take your mind at least away from the project for a while. Understand that the life of the project is dependent on the life of the people. If the people are becoming better, then the project will experience a better end. Currently, I currently am studying somewhere, so we noticed that organizations grow, and one of the reasons why organizations grow at a degree of 60% is because people are being trained and made to become better. So it's a mistake I made at the time, and I decided to check it. The number two was the mistake that, okay, because I started doing stuff, and this is me washing my dirty linen outside, right? So because I started seeing some measure of results, some measure of growth in leadership, some measure of, it got to a point where, as a leader, your stream of income is twofold. Your stream of income is first transactional, that you are able to produce result and then you obtain reward thereafter. Rewards always come or are attracted to those who have value to offer, right? And the second one that I didn't recognize on time was that there's what we call transformational wealth, a wealth and degree of reward that comes to you on the basis of the lives that you have helped to grow. You have nurtured people from small into big, into being big, into becoming better, who they have been designed and destined to be. That degree of wealth is massive. Many leaders don't even know it. So a time came where I was doing so well. People we were having results in transactional level and in transformational level, and I began to pay little attention to my personal growth. And I forgot for a moment that my job, my assignment on this earth is to be a tree that bears fruit, that people will come and will eat from me. For as long as I have fruits to offer to my generation, they will always come. The rewards that I think I see will always keep coming. But the moment I lost sight of my growth, my personal growth, which is the center, the core of my person, the core of my assignment on the earth, if I neglect growth, a time will come where I'll begin to sound stale. A time will come when they will become tired and weary of your systems. There is no innovation. There is no creativity. You are always doing things the same way, the same pattern. Even if you want to describe this, there should be a different way a different system to describing it that it catches the attention of those that you are leading at the time. So I forgot that for a moment, and I started noticing that I was losing credibility. People used to call me my leader. It began to change from my leader to the leader, to him.
Oh,
Immediately, I sat down with my mentors and restructured and began to systemize my growth sequence. That not a day will pass again where I would not read the chapter of a book, where I would not listen to podcasts or teachings. Because you see, my job as the leader is to provide solutions. And I cannot provide solutions if I am intellectually daft. One of the things to becoming an effective sharp shooter as an emerging leader is to be so built intellectually. My mentor, Pastor Morgan Ekanem, will always say, you cannot influence anyone in an area where he knows more than you know. Again, you cannot influence someone in an area where he is more proficient than you are. For instance, a mechanic man, for instance, a professor carries his car to a mechanic shop, and someone who didn't have a degree says to the professor, he says throttle, and the professor answers and obeys his instruction. As far as that mechanic shop is concerned, the leader there is not the professor who has backed many degrees. It is the mechanic man. So I discovered that if I'm going to be useful and helpful to anybody that I come in contact with or I'm leading, I must invest massively and unapologetically to my mind. I must change the way I see things. I must invest in my belief system. I must invest in the things that I'm doing, knowledge to understand systems. Recently, of course, systems have changed in leadership spaces. It has become my assignment to study. That's one reason why I'm studying what I'm currently studying here. I'm studying leadership here at African Leadership University, currently at Rwanda. It is my drive to become intellectually sound so that it increases my value of proposition. So one of the mistakes I made, or the second mistake that I made, was to not pay attention to my growth process. The third was to think at the moment. See, I've made a lot of mistakes. The third was to think that I'm trying to be strong to say this one.
It's
The third was to actually think that those who have built me, those who have contributed to my growth, that I began to see myself in their same shoes. I made that mistake in 2021 and I paid dearly for it. I lost the connectivity with a certain mentor of mine that I will not get again till tomorrow. That is, I know the man well. Right? So it came to a point where I sat to reason with my mentor. And the thing that makes you a mentee is your ability to listen much more than to talk. The thing that makes you an ardent follower of someone is your ability to come before them with questions seeking to grow. Questions that put you in a shape of growth, not the one that comes and you are coming to tell them that we did this, we are now being paid for this. If that's what you want, go and get a peer. If what you want is growth, if you want someone that will blow your trumpet, get to your peers. But if you need someone who will discipline you, the moment your mentors begin to think that you are at their pace, it blocks the degree at which they can flow wisdom to you. It's a mistake that I made and I will never repeat it again. I have sat down and learned capacity to learn, as in the agility, capacity to keep learning, regardless of whatever it is I know. Paul says, I count it as dung. It is not compared to what I'm supposed to know as long as I'm before my mentor. So those are the mistakes that I've made. I want to, should I continue or I should just stop it there? Because we've made several mistakes. These mistakes have helped to make us better. I mean, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
I just love how you are able to review, right? Like, I love your growth process. I love what you said. With each of these mistakes, you had to go back to your drawing board and find out what exactly is wrong. Now, that's the problem with some leaders, right? Some acclaimed leaders. They know that maybe, okay, let's just say they could know that something is wrong, but then going back to the drawing board to change that thing, they never do it. And that's not so encouraging, right? They choose to preach and not practice what they preach. And it's not a mark of good leadership. So I'm very, very excited. I was very impressed to hear that you had to go back to your drawing board. And it was even obvious on the kind of results that you started getting, right? The life of a project is dependent on the life of the team. Like, I don't think I'm going to forget that anytime soon. I'm not going to forget that anytime
Thank
soon.
you.
So it's very important as leaders that we know to carry along our team members, their emotional health, their mental health, their physical health. We are going to get it. Thank you so much for that insight. Thank you so much for bearing it up. Thank you so much for being that open. Not everyone will come out to share this in public, right? But you've been able to, and we thank you for that. Mr. Israel, how about you? Do you have any mistakes to share with us? Life, business, spiritual life? Just share with us.
man. ah, of course, there is no human being without mistakes. Even though I've come up with a philosophy about mistakes that every mistake has a seed of um or every mistake has a good thing in it. All right, every mistake has a good thing in it, and which is learning what worked and what didn't work, so that the next time you are faced with an opportunity, you are going to act better. All right. Um, well, let me correct one of my mistakes I made in this call, and that is appreciating Miss Dr. Jamie. So I was in a hurry, right? I was in a hurry to connect to this call, so I forgot to do that at the beginning of my speech, and that is what I'm doing right now. So I'm appreciating Dr. Jamie Pajuel for this opportunity, and this is something that is very transformational, just as Mr. Paul has said. I truly, I was surprised when I saw the the leadership program he he took about 27 Nigerian youths to Rwanda for that conference, and he took all the costs. That is not common, all right? So that made me to zoom my attention to what he was doing, to start listening to him, start reading his posts, and I realized that this man is a rare leader. And I am using this opportunity to appreciate him. I don't know whether he's in this call, but I truly appreciate what he's doing, because the best way to build any society is to build the people, just as Mr. Paul has said. I've learned a lot from Mr. Paul already. All right. So one of the mistakes,
Like,
yeah, yeah, thank you, Mr. Paul. Yeah, one of the mistakes I've made, yeah, was this is very important to me, because I realized that when I started correcting it, it made a lot of difference in my life, and that's dissociating with, number one, negative people, number two, negative environments, and number three, small minds. Right. So we realized that, or I realized that the greatest influence on man is the people closest to him. All right. So no matter how good you are, no matter how good your intentions, if you are around people that don't believe in big things, that don't believe in you, that don't believe in your ability, you're not going to go anywhere. All right. Because this is energy, and energy can be transferred. So if you have five people that are telling you it's not possible every day, the first day you may be able to enjoy it, the second day you may be able to enjoy it, but one of the days you begin to come to terms with it, you begin to connect with that energy, because human being is about energy. Everything in this world is energy related. There is energy in everything. All right. So the mistake I made was not dissociating myself on time early enough. All right. And some of these people they are so close that somebody may give an excuse and say, but I cannot dissociate with this set of people because they are so close. But Napoleon Hill said, only the strong survive. Only those that have the willpower to do the right thing are the people that are going to survive. So when I started dissociating myself, yes, it brought some controversies. Some people say that I've become too big. Some people say, oh, look at this guy. You're forming what are you forming? You're forming James Bond and this and that. But actually, I was forming James Bond because I don't want to remain in the trenches, right? uh, and today, many of those guys have not come, 50% to where I am right now. All right. So another one was negative environment. So I noticed that where I was staying before, it was filled with, if people see Prado there, it's a big deal. If they see the latest Range Rover, it was the talk of the town. And I was saying, no, this is not the right place to be, man. So I changed my location, and I began to stay where people that they were they were they were now using Benz for taxi. All right. And you see people that are using they talk about Lamborghini as if they are talking about golf
it's
and
like
Ferrari. All right.
give us
All right. So, and I started meeting people that everything is easy for them. $1 billion is an easy goal for them. You want to build a platform is easy for them. Everything you say is possible for them. All right. And these are the things that started changing my game. All right. So I think that was the mistake I make. And I don't want anybody in this call to make that mistake. Please dissociate yourself from negative people. Dissociate yourself from people that don't believe in you, that don't believe in, they always want to tell you the reason why things will not work. Run away from such people, even if it's your parents, right? Even if it's your siblings. Find a way to dissociate yourself from them. Yes, it may not be easy, but it must be done if you want to make history, if you want to make headway in your life. All right. I'm not saying you should go and pack out from your parents' house if you don't have where to go. That's not what I say. Do Before they will say is Padre University that is teaching them.
No, no, we totally
So
get you,
just
right?
just use your head. Use your head.
Okay, so thank you for your insights. Mr. Paul, if you had to start from the beginning, let's say you have to start all you've achieved, would you do that? Just give us like quick action steps. If you were to start from zero, let's say you lost everything, how would you walk your way?
All right. All right. So, um, for the purpose of those who are currently streaming, I need to please pay attention to this clearly, right? This is not the 7 values I wanted to share. I hope that there will be time to still share it, but um, there is there are three principles I received as a blueprint, and my life has followed those modules up till date. I'm currently in Rwanda, and the thing that makes you a master is your ability to reproduce and replicate your results, whether in different terrain or in different lives. The ability to reproduce results. And I want to share this first, these three principles. And you understand why my answer is yes. If I have to start again, will I be able to do that? Yes. And how? Number one, self discovery. I was taught these things greatly, and they created a platform for me. So if I'm here currently, I just do some bit of twitches, but just three things that you need to know so that you can make impact in where you are. Number one, self-discovery. You cannot make impact in a space whose need you have not discovered.
Hmm.
You also cannot birth impact when you yourself has not discovered your potentials. It is self-discovery that precedes impact. It is the discovery of the challenge in where you currently are or find yourself that bets for impact. The second is self-development. It means that if you are present in a space where the challenges you have discovered, you do not have the giftings to solve them, it means that you can develop yourself along those lines, not losing your authentic self now. You are adding to who you currently are and have discovered more giftings, more skills, or you collaborate with people that help or can bring this solution to the needed space that there is. Do you understand what I'm saying now? The third is self rendering of self to service. Just Mahatma Gandhi, who said that the end of any true self discovered is the ability to render that self to society. It means, in what I'm saying now, is if I'm to start again, I'm currently doing it right now in Rwanda, where I currently am, Kigali. I am beginning to identify the needed challenges in this space. Secondly, having identified these challenges, I'm already collaborating with people and developing myself along the areas that can solve or bring these solutions to these
Yeah.
people. I currently they call it the human-centered design thinking. It's a pattern of design of thinking that provides solutions to those who need them. You are taking not assumed issues, you are taking issues that you have identified, you have found, and then providing solutions to them. Otherwise, you'll be providing solutions in a space that does not require what you have. And as far as it's not what they need, it's no longer a solution. And then again, I'm currently going to be rendering of service. So there are calls for voluntary work. I'm willing to render my service. I meet a friend or I meet friends. I want to share. I want to pick their minds on challenges, and I want to share with them to find out if this solution that I have studied and found can solve them. Currently, I'm counting 5 persons that have impacted in my life in my current few months of stay here. Little by little, I will replicate the success that we've had in Nigeria, Kwara State. I will replicate it here. If I am to move again as God's ambassador to another place, I will take the guides with me. These 3 modules and systems have helped me and still help me. One of the things that I do when I'm mentoring, or I don't like to say mentoring, I think there has to be a degree of experience added to my cap to become a mentor. Let me stick with coach. One of the things that I do to coach young persons is to help them to do this, to discover these 3 things. Find out who they are. The major challenges that we have in society now is they are largely caused by leaders who don't know themselves. They change at every weather that comes. It was Nelson Mandela who said that if you are looking for someone to be a leader and you find someone whose values changes with circumstances, that's not the person to pick for leader. You should be able to, having discovered yourself, you stick to your values, you stick to your morals, the things that make you who you are, and to consistently deliver your value. Secondly, it is to develop yourself. You cannot provide solutions you have not been developed and skilled for. It's a deficiency. It's a tree saying, I have fruits when you don't have the fruits. It's not enough to say that you have found yourself. It's important that you network yourself around giftings that can make you a solution provider. The last is to render service. Many young people think that it is a crime to render service to people and not be paid for it. One of the things that has made me who I am, currently my friends said they want to give to me an award of recommender. That is, I recommend a lot. I recommend people a lot. And you see, it's because having to volunteer for things killed selfishness. It killed greed. It killed, you've been at places where you are serving, and you know that your idea many times will not always win. So I learned by volunteering to allow people's ideas to scale aside my own. It's needed in our time. Our young people need to put aside that need for fame. Put aside that need. See, the fact that you are doing programs doesn't mean that you are making impact. We need to understand it. The fact that you are doing programs up and front does not, programs do not equate to impact. You need to understand that you have to take out time and relax. Render service. Render service. Right? So those are the 3 things that I want to share with you. Yes, so my answer is yes. If I'm out to, I'm currently most called by my friends the apostle of leadership, and because my root has been traced to God. I have told God several times that I'm an ambassador for him. Wherever you need me to be, I will be. Whatever, I think Apostle Simon says, if God requires of him to become a carpenter to bring to pass his agenda, then God can do that. And that's been the motto for my personal life. I'm available for God to move. So because of this tendency to move, tomorrow I may be somewhere else. Next month I may be somewhere else. So it has become crucial for me to have these principles that if I stay in any environment whatsoever, they can reproduce themselves. I learned this principle from Pastor Joshua Selman in 2020 during COVID. I was listening to one of their teachings, School of Ministry teachings on leadership, and he said, I give to you 3 modules, and I'm sorry I'm taking time to do that. He said, I give to you 3 principles that will make you an impact within 2 years. Apostle Selman, and I quote, this is on live stream, so it can be said. Apostle Selman said, I give to you 2 years. Apostle Selman said this to someone and gave these 3 things I just finished sharing right now to someone. And he said in about 1 year and 8 months, the lady was already turning over 20 million or so. She was calling him that she wants to buy I think a building or a site at 20 million. This is a woman that did not have any money. And he said, when you sit before an interview and they ask you what to do to become a person of impact, he said, give them these three factors. They will not, I'm quoting him now. He said, they will not believe what you're saying. They'll say you're saying nonsense, but give it to them and be quiet about it. Allow your life experience to say it. I said this, I listened to it in 2020, assisted by my pastor, and that teaching by Apostle Selman. This is 2020. This is currently 2023. We have received 8 awards for what we do from a place of nothing now. Not only that, I think this is about making it about my 159th speaking engagement in the space of 3 years between 2020 and here. Again, we've hosted about over 12 conferences, helped other brands and partnered with them to do several things. I'm trying to state this not to blow my trumpet, but to tell someone that is listening to me right now, the things that we are sharing with you are not cunningly devised fables. They are things that will work if you work with it. I have worked with these three things as a guideline and for my life, and this is where it's brought me to. I have met with the best of minds when you speak about leadership in Nigeria. I have met with the best of mine when it comes to event hostings. I have learned from them. I have been blessed by them. And I've added lives to value to more than about 10,000 lives in 3 years' time. So what I'm saying will help you big time to become a person of results and do what you're supposed to do. Thank you very much.
Wow, like that's amazing. I think someone was writing it in the comment section, right? Thank you so much for writing the replay. Everything he said will always be here, right? So we really need to quickly get on to the last questions that we have. That was really, really impactful and mind blowing. Mr. Paul, have you always been in Rwanda?
The question is, have I always been in Rwanda?
Yeah, have you always been there, or you've been in Nigeria and then
Oh
something?
my goodness. I have been in Nigeria. I was born, raised in Akwa State. I never left Akwa State for almost more than 2 decades of my life, right? It was doing leadership that began to obeying God to do leadership that opened me up to going to states. And so currently I've been here, and this could be my about almost 3 months or 2 months here in Rwanda, and I'm here for a study on leadership. That's how I'm driven. I love it. It's my call, it is my essence, it's my purpose, and I'm doing it and I'm studying it right here. So that's what I'm doing currently here. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, you have someone new to follow. Make sure that you go and follow Mr. Paul though. Make sure you follow him after this live session. He's not someone that you want to just listen, maybe catch the rema for, let's say, this this 1 hour and some minutes that we are going to spend here, and then you go home tomorrow. Make sure that you go and follow him on his timeline. He has so much value. Like, the comment section is on fire right now because of you, Mr. Paul. I'm feeling everything that you are saying, and our viewers are loving it. Like, they appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Like, we are so proud that we did not keep bringing you here to Youth Spotlight. We are a man of value, and you speak with so much passion, and we appreciate you for that. Mr. Israel, how about you? If you are to start from scratch, let's say you would have to start building from scratch, how would you do it? So you would just give us some short basic principles that you would follow to get back on your feet in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. These questions you ask is not something you can answer straight to. Shay. so
Just
so when you say if I should start again, um is it in what area? Is it in personal development? Is it in business? It's not easy for me. I know what I'm saying, because people are in different levels in their life. All right. So let
like
me
tell
let
us
me
about business. Tell us about business, because business is what we've been talking about, right? Real estate
Okay.
and, yeah,
Okay.
business wise.
Okay. Good. Thanks a lot. Narrowing it down helps me because if I want to talk about it round or holistically, it's going to be difficult. Okay, in business, I think the first thing I would have done is to start from my secondary school, right? I did science courses, so I would have done art courses or commerce courses, courses that revolve around commerce, right? The reason is because that's the fundamental of basic education. Secondary school education is very important, and I would have done arts, then focus on courses like economics, commerce, commerce, business studies, and all that. Then in school, I would have done things relating to business. All right. Although I appreciate God that I did agricultural economics, the economics aspect of my course helped me a lot to understand demand, supply, the basic things in business. So that's where I would have started. Then the next thing I would have done is to get a mentor, right? I would have gotten a mentor that um has succeeded in what I want to go into. All right. It's not easy to get mentors that both have the results that you want to get, then the same person has the value system that you have, and the same person also have love for you or wants you to grow. All right. So these are three different things that you cannot easily find in one person. So there are some mentors that they have the results, but they may not care about you. They may not see it as important. Like Mr. Paul was talking about transformational leadership. They don't have transformational leadership. They are only transactional. All right. So
Wow.
they may have the result, and if you go to work with them, you realize that after 5 years, you yourself didn't grow. But
Yeah.
people are seeing you with the
Yes.
person,
You're on
people
point.
are seeing you in pictures with the person and all that. Then there are people that have you at heart, but they may not have the knowledge, they may not have the power, they may not have the result that you want them to take you to. All right. So why I'm saying this is because there are many people that struggle with this issue of mentorship, and I've been there. It took me a lot of time before I could get a mentor that fit into what the mentor I have now. It took me years, it took me a lot of time. All right. So I would have gotten a mentor next. And the next thing I would have done is to learn more than any other person. All right. Is to go full throttle on personal development. I discovered that I was reading an article, and the article said President George Bush, former president of America, when he was president, he was reading 96 books per year. Nine, six, 96 books every year when he was ruling the most complex country in the world, one of the biggest economy in the world. So that's crazy. When Zig Ziglar was still alive, he was reading 4 hours every day. Every day he reads for 4 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. So why are these men upon their massive success? Why are they
Yes.
still learning? Why are they still? That's to tell you that the better you learn, the better you act. All right. The better you think. All right. The better decisions you make, the better choices you make. So I would have gone full throttle into personal development. And the next thing I would have done is to circle my friends or surround myself with go-getters and people of high value. All right. Because at the end of the day, nobody does it alone. You can never achieve any thing that is worthwhile
Alone.
playing solo. No, it's not possible. You must be in the midst of an energy that their the lowest energy in that circle is going to give you your goals. That's a big concept. Okay, there is a concept in circles, which is highest level of in the circle and the lowest level. So if the lowest level in a circle, let's say financially, is 100 million, it means anybody in that circle, whether you are sleeping or whether you refuse to have a business, whether no matter the kind of attitude you are portraying, you will not have less than 100 million in your account because you are in that circle. All right. And if the highest level of that circle is 100,000 naira, let me say financially, the average highest is 100,000 naira. No matter how hard you work, no matter the connections you have, no matter the number of products you sell, you will not go above 100,000 naira income because that is the energy zenith. That's the zenith of the energy in that circle.
Mm.
All right. So I would if I was to do it again, I will go into the hottest circle in town, guys. All right. That's why I'm in this circle, with men like Mr. Paul and Mr. and Miss Olamara. I know that Okpo is plenty. So then finally, let me say this is very important. I would have separated the issue of income and passion. All right. So
Mm.
there was a time I was so carried away with this passion thing. I want to talk to people. I want to help young people. I want to do this and do that. And at the time, I was choking because I didn't have the fund to pursue that passion. All right. So what my mentors told me was, you sort out the funding before you go full scale on passion. If you are lucky that your passion is also the thing that will bring you a lot of money. For instance, see Ronaldo, his passion is playing football, and at the same time, it is giving him all the money. So he's very lucky. But if your passion is um teaching young girls about menstrual health, if that is your passion, there's not a lot of money in that. Like, who is coming to pay you for teaching menstrual? Highest NGOs will just contribute one or two things to you. But if that is your passion, it means, okay, you will now get a business. Like, you can now come into our industry, real estate. Maybe you do real estate, generate money, then you provide pads for young girls in the villages and all that. You see now that you are getting the fund to push your passion. But if you now focus as a young Nigerian in this kind of economy, and you are saying you just want to be teaching young girls about menstrual health, and at the time you realize that you may not have the transport money to visit those places, you realize that you may not have the money to give to your team members. All right. So I would have pursued passion, the money. If the money is not if my passion will not bring the amount of money that we fund that passion, I will first get a business that will be running and giving me cash flow. Then I'll be pursuing my passion. All right, thank you.
For the valuable A to Z on how to start and how to, especially love what you said about circles. Like that one really, really hits. It's resonating. If you are still watching us, I trust there are still a couple of persons watching us. Make sure go and watch yourself. The kind of circles that you would be in, that you would even forget that there is something called procrastination, because the kind of they are commanding, the kind of influence that they have would push you, like procrastination or work. So make sure that you are going and checking your circles, getting right people who are valuable and people who are ready to get ahead in life. So now on the last question, just your last advice, right? You have the time to tell us about the 7 values you wanted to share with us. Just general last advice. Thank you so much.
All right. So I must sincerely say thank you, Success, for this session. You've done an amazing work, and I'm enjoying the session already. I want to say thank you to everyone who has stayed with us thus far. But I need you to please listen to me. Just give me 2 minutes of your time or less than that. I want to share with you values that has helped me to still keep on with my vision, keep on what I'm doing, and still be the person that I'm supposed to be. There are a list of values that have held me firm. The first being vision. Being vision. You see, there's not much change that you can bring in society. There's not much to you if you don't have vision. Vision is what creates a boundary for you. Vision is what orders your steps. It tells you where to go, who to be with, who you shouldn't be with, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't spend time doing. There will never be a generation where the subject of vision or visioning is not necessary. As generations evolve and transcend, there would always be a need to remind the coming ones on the need and the importance for vision. Otherwise, you will get to a point where everything goes. And the moment you enter that point where everything goes, you can do everything, you can want to do anything, then there is not much that will be tied to you. The second value would be passion. Listening to me for the past almost 2 hours now, you've observed that with everything that I say, go through the archives of what we do on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, you would see projects we've done around one thing: leadership. Around one thing: leadership. I am passionate about it. And I told God one time when I started that if you need me to do anything that will advance your kingdom before you come back, give it to me. I'm not a person who is blessed with multi talents. I'm blessed with one, and that one is leadership. I am passionate about it. I am careful how I treat people because of the message of leadership that I carry. You must find a way to find a place, a space that you are passionate about and pursue it. It is crucial, it is important. Don't throw away your passion, hold it firm and do. You see, statistics shows that those who are 80% self-actualized at anything that they do is because that they have passion around that area. They enjoy doing it. There is a generation that taught you to ignore your passion, but this is a generation that must awaken it. Nelson Mandela pursued his passion: liberty, freedom, and many others. The next value would be courage. There are many times you would need to start stuff that you're not ready for. The courage alone to make that first move becomes the trajectory that changes your life. My pastor had asked me one time, transcend from doing writings on Facebook to hosting events. We did the first one. It was difficult. Many people said, you are crazy for doing that. Focus on school, do this. But my pastor said, obey me and do it. We summoned courage to do it. The first one that we did in 2021, we gathered about 40. He said, nice, do it again. We did another one that same 2021 Young Leaders Summit, and we had about 50 persons. He said, try again. The third time in August 2021, we had a summit and we tagged it, and we had about 66 persons. And I went back to him to give report, and he said, Paul, are you willing to be daring? I said, yes, sir. He said, you have stayed in the backyard for 5 years. Don't be deceived that you have much time. You don't have time. You don't have time. Someone courage and move. And he said, do the latter one. And he said we should move to something that we were doing that will gather about 400 persons. I thought my mentor didn't like me. I thought that he was setting me up to fail. We summoned courage to pursue, to attack this project of bettering people's lives. And for the first time, a young man in my time will be gathering almost 400 persons. And it came to pass exactly as he has said. From the obedience and courage of doing that, we have done others. It always seems difficult until you do it. It will always seem difficult until you attempt to be that change maker in your space, in your family that God has designed you to be. The last one I want to share is that you must be an executioner. Enough of this thing where you fold your hands and say, I have good ideas, I have good dreams. You must begin to dare. You must begin to put your hands on the plow and do something meaningful. Don't allow the ideas stay in the realm of ideas alone. Birth them into reality. It is your agenda, your goal to ensure that you execute appropriately. I was studying the Lord's General, and I was studying the book that was just recently released after the death of Maurice Cerullo, legend or so. And I observed that many of them in their time obtained the apex of their ministries and their destinies at the age of 24. At the age of 24, 25. I asked myself after reading materials, who deceived our generation like this? That we are still struggling to find ourselves and make impact at the age of 40. Who deceived us that you need to reach a certain age to start? There are people that have done it at the ages of 13. There are others that have done it at the age of 20. What's wrong with us? You are still sitting and wondering, I'll do it next year. I'll do it after next year. You are still shifting. Execute now. Execute now. Stand up and do it now. There's no better time to do it than now. One man said, I think it was a certain man JF Kennedy was about to build. They were about to build the stuff that would take the rocket that would take the man to moon. And he asked the designer, he said, what would it cost to do this? And the man, very sound man, like a Joseph, said to him, he says, all that it costs is the will to put man on the moon. And I'm saying to you right now, you are asking, what would it cost to become the change maker that you have been? You have dreamt and seen yourself stand and speak before nations. You have dreamt and seen yourself impact businesses, systems, organizations, the African continent itself. And you are still allowing it to remain in the realm of dreams. I'm answering you right now that all it requires and costs is your willingness to stand out and move. If you abide by these things that I'm sharing, I promise you, we would have more of Jimmy Pajos, we'll have more of Paul Udah, we'll have more of Jonathan Zokori, we'll have more of Apostle Joshua Selman, we'll have many, many more that will reign in our generation and help the others. Our job is to be a bridge, to marry the previous generation with the coming. If we don't rise and execute now, we'll lose the generation. And to be said of us, like it was said of Joshua, that there came a time where there was no generation who knew God after Joshua's time. That was failure. No legacy. Thank you, and sorry for overshooting.
No, no, not at all. You did not overshoot. Like listening to you is like it's so refreshing. So you did not overshoot. I enjoyed the conversation. And guys, like I said, go and follow Mr. Paulo. I know why I'm saying this. Go and follow him. Like listening to him speak alone, it's just so powerful. And you need this every day. You need a dose of this thing every morning when you wake up and every night when you're about to go to bed. So make sure that you are following him, right? So thank you so much, Mr. Paul. Thank you. Thank you. We cannot thank you enough. If the energy you have expended here today, I'm sure, like, thank you so much for finding the time to be here with us at the Youth Spotlight. We really, really. But before we let you go, if you have gotten value, if you know that you've gotten value from Mr. Paul's sessions, I know you have gotten value, but please thank him in the comment section, right? So we can let him to go and rest. Say thank you, Mr. Paul. Wish him well. Put the fire emoji, put the clapping emoji, put your
Thank
dancing.
you, Mr. Paul. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so, so much. Thank you so, so much. It has been a very impactful, powerful session. Like, there is no young person that would listen to this. There's no young person that would listen to you and they will not have a fire lit under their butt to go and start something doing, right? So thank you so much. We are so blessed to have you today. They are thanking you in the comment section. I hope you can see that they are putting their fire emojis and they love that you came to grace us with your presence today. So we'll leave you now to rest, sir. Thank you again
Thank you so
for
much. Thank you, Mr. Israel. We'll talk on your chat box, Mr. Israel. Thank you, success.
Thank you, boss.
okay then
It will be a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
for us before we call it a day.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I've had a blast here, man. It's been an amazing time. So there are four things I'm going to say, just four quick points. I'm going to say it as one of my mentors taught me this, and it changed my life. All right, and I think it's going to change somebody's life here. The first question, if you have a pen, a notebook, and a pen, you can follow me. The first question is why? Why? Why are you here? Why are you here listening to this right now? All right. Why do you want to become a person of impact? Why do you want to become a millionaire or a billionaire? Why do you want to become the best parent? Why do you want to become the best spouse? Why do you want to become a person of wisdom? You need to give yourself those reasons. You need to write it down because those are the reasons that will push you when your motivation is exhausted. Those are the reasons that will push you. Why? That's the first question. The second question is why not? Why not? That's the second question. Why are you scared of doing the big goal you have set for yourself? Why not you? All right. Why not? If you said you want to become a millionaire before 30, I mean a millionaire in dollars, why not? All right. If not, why not? You say you want to do the big things. You want to be the next Dr. Jamie. You want to be the next Mandela. You want to be the next Abraham Lincoln. Why not? Why not? So see this as a call or a question of is possible. All right, it's very possible. Why not? What's the reason that anyone wants to give to you? The third question, the third question you should answer is why not you? Why not you? Why must it be your friend in the class that you always tell to answer the question? Why must it be your coursemate? Why must it be your Facebook friend? Why must it be your elder sibling or your younger sibling? Why not you? That's the third question. Why not you? Why not you become the first governor in your state from your local government? Why not you? Why not you becoming a millionaire, a billionaire from that humble family? Why not you? Why not you own a plot of land or own an acre of land or a hectare of land before you get to 30 or 3 years from now or 2 years from now or a month from now? Why not you? Why not you um not being invited to tell other people things like this? Why not you? Why not you become number one in your industry? All right, why not you? That's the question, the third question. And the last question I will leave you with is why not now? Why not now? Why not today? All right, all the people you see that are being invited here, none of us is better than you. None of us is better than you. We might have started before you, but we are not better than you. What it means is that if you start today, you will be the next person on this call. If you start today, you'll be the next Dr. Jamie. If you start today, you become the next Abraham Lincoln, the next Martin Luther King, the next Elon Musk, the next Mark Zuckerberg, the next anybody you admire on this planet. Why? Because those people are not better than you. They only started before you. So why not now? Why not take action now? Why not read that book now? Why not start writing that book now? Why not start that YouTube channel now? Why not start making that money now? Why not start teaching the people you should teach? Why not start sharing value? Why not start making history? Why not start making those baby steps? Why not now? Thank you so much, guys.
The questions even got me thinking. It got me thinking back on the so many things I have to do that
Amazing, 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 amazing.
there's so many things I have to do that I've still not gotten done. Like you are Mr. Paul loaded. It was just like what we had the last time, more than 2 hours, and the fire is still in the room. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure guys that you can, it can be you and not any other person. And why not now? Why don't you get it done now? Why do you have to wait until tomorrow? Why do you have to wait until next year to start that YouTube channel? Why do you have to wait until you have iPhone 15 on before you start making your videos, right? They are really really questions, critical questions that get you thinking. So please, this should like take you on a reflection. Go and do a very big reflection after this session. Go and follow Mr. Israel, especially if you want to acquire property. Like he gave us a straight road on how to acquire property as a young person. You don't have to be 30 before you buy your first land. You don't have to be 50 or even whatever age. You can have it now at 20, at 18, at 25. You can have it now at 27. You can have it now. So please make sure that you go and follow the both of them. Follow Mr. Paul on Facebook and follow Mr. Israel on Facebook as well. So thank you so much, sir, for coming here today, finding out time out of your busy schedule to share your wealth of experience with us. It has been so, so impactful. So thank you so much. Before we let him go to rest, okay, we are back again. Please section. If you've gotten value from him today, which I know that you have, I got excess value. I got too much value. Things that would help me, things I would not forget in a hurry. Thank him in the comment section. Let him know he's reading, okay? Thank him in the comment section. Let him know. If you want the questions, just watch the replay, all right? We have to let our guests go and rest now. Thank him. Say thank you in the comment section. Put your fire emoji, your clapping emoji. Let him know how grateful you are before we let him go, okay? Please thank him in the comment section. We are waiting for you. And of course, thank you so much to everyone that joined today. You were very active. I see all of you. Nena, Goodness, who else is here? Who else is here? Gloria is here. Thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you for tagging your friends and share this video, okay? Share it on your timeline so people who missed it can get click the share button right now. Share it right away. So thank you so much, Mr. Israel, for coming.
Yeah.
We are going to leave you to go and take your rest now. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot. And those
Okay.
those that some people were indicating interest in the ebook I talked about, so they should just come to WhatsApp. They should just come to WhatsApp because I may not easily see your message on Facebook. So my number is on many of the posts on my Facebook. So you just message me and just say you are from this call so that I will give you that discount.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those that
all
you
right,
can
thanks
continue.
a lot, guys.
I thought you had more to say.
No. I was just saying some people were asking how are they going to get it. So just send me a message on WhatsApp. Just put this event like that you were in this call, and you heard when I said that the people that are in this call will get that ebook on a discount. For those that are just joining lately, is the ebook on how to manage your money. I have a lot of clients that come to me, they earn a lot of money, but they cannot bring out part of that money to buy properties. So I developed that formula for them. It's a 4-chapter ebook of just 21 pages. You can finish reading it in 15 minutes, but it's going to change your life like immediately. All right. So the price is 5K, but those people that are in this call that will get it today will just get it for 3K. All right. So the first 5 people, I'll give it to the first 5 people for 3K. Yeah. Okay. So my number is, let me still say my number, 07063739000. That's my WhatsApp number. +234 07063739000. So you can also get it from the host if you forget. Thanks a lot, guys. I need to go and catch up other things.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for joining. And
thank you so much, Olamara. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're amazing. You made me to, you you move my you gave me questions that made me to think. That's amazing. I love that.
Okay, you're welcome, sir. So guys, thank you again. So yeah, exactly 2 hours well spent. 2 hours well spent. It's not even a waste of time. I would still encourage you to get into our youth mentorship program, okay? The youth mentorship program under Jimmy Padre University. You've heard them. You've heard Paul speak on mentorship. You heard how he said how mentorship helped him. And you also heard Mr. Israel on how mentorship helped him. So I would encourage all of you, get into our youth mentorship program. There you are going to be mentored directly by Mr. Jamie himself every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. He's always in a room with people like you and I. It's always a powerful session. So if you want to sign up for the mentorship program, it is just 10,000 naira for 1 month. It's a 12-month long program, but you can sign up for, let's say you want to sign up for this month and you may not be able to afford for next month. It's fine. You can always come back whenever you are ready, right? So please type you are ready in the comment section if you want to get into that mentorship program and have something very meaningful going on for you. You want to finish up the rest of this year feeling very fulfilled. You've accomplished so many things that you thought you could not. You've built your network, you've built your connections. Please make sure that you are in that room next week, Saturday. I think this Saturday, not even next week. If you are ready, type you're ready in the comment section, and our team members are coming to run to you immediately and send you the registration link. this mentorship, this youth spotlight again, same time during our next episode. So thank you so